Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Shannon, and if you didn't hear last night, I passed my NASM CPT exam, and I'm officially a certified personal trainer. I'm so excited, but I got so many DMs from you guys about NASM and personal training and how I'm studying for the test, like so many DMs. So I figured I'd make this video, answer all your questions, and if your question doesn't get answered, just hit my DMs again. I'm really always here for you guys. So excited to help you with anything you might need. So don't be afraid to do that, everyone. Why did I pick NASM? So as you may know, this certificate is not cheap. So I definitely want to get a job as a personal trainer. I'm in college, so I'm looking for a part-time job. So I looked for part-time personal training jobs in my area and what certifications they were looking for. And a lot of them wanted NASM and ACE. So I researched NASM and ACE, found out pretty much the same price, same amount of content, same material, same like prestigiousness, I guess. So I reached out to some of my friends who were either in the process of getting their NASM or had the NASM CPT already and had a job, and they really recommended NASM. They said, I would really like it because I'm so science-based and everything in NASM is science-based. I'm sure that's true of ACE too. But they really recommended it, said it was easy to find a job. So on their recommendation, I picked NASM. Would I recommend NASM? And yes, 100%, I would recommend NASM. I thought I knew a lot about exercise and nutrition before, but I know so much more now. It really blew my mind how many things I thought were incorrect that I were doing in my own routine. Also, I feel so comfortable training clients. I feel like I'm 100% prepared. I can help someone, keep them safe, make sure they don't get injured, and also safely guide them to their goals. I feel really, really ready to train people, so I would absolutely recommend NASM if you're looking to get a good personal trainer education. What package did I get? I got the self-study package. Why? Because it was the cheapest, and a lot of you guys DM'd me and said, I want the self-study package because I'm broke, and I totally get that. But I have a background in biology, and I'm an EMT, an emergency medical technician, so I have to know anatomy and physiology, which is the basis of everything in NASM, so that really helped me. That stuff is a lot harder to understand, especially like metabolism and like the chemistry behind nutrition, although you don't need to know too much of that. It was really helpful for me. So the guy on the phone even tried to talk me out of getting the self-study and said, like, you don't this is meant for people with like exercise science degrees, and it's really meant to be a review if you already know this stuff. But if you feel like you can do it, I'd say go for it. Also, there's a student discount. NASM doesn't want you to know about the student discount. But if you call and you say, hey, I'm a college student, can I get a discount? They will apply a discount for you. I think it was 20%, and with how expensive this shit is, that is really worth doing. So my package contains the textbook, a few lectures, and chapter quizzes, and then one practice test. So I basically had to go through the whole textbook and teach myself pretty much everything. So if you feel like you can do that, then the self-study package is for you. Also, you need to know like muscles in the body, how the heart works, the respiratory system, the endocrine system. So that stuff is kind of hard to learn from a textbook. So yeah, if you don't have a background in science, I'd get a more extensive package. Requirements before starting. So you need to be 18 or older, you need a high school diploma, and you need CPR AED certification by the time of the test. So you've got to bring your CPR card to the testing proctor to be able to take the test. How long does it take? So I did this in 2 months, and it wasn't like 2 months of extensively doing this every single day like I thought it would be. It was more like I read the textbook sometimes like the first month, and then the past few weeks I've been really cramming for this test, and I was fine. But they recommend longer, so you really do it at your own pace. The course is good for a year, so you have up to a year to take the test. And then if you don't get it by then, there's a renewal fee, but I don't think you have to pay for the full test over again. How long did I study for? Probably spent an hour and a half on each chapter. So I read the chapters, yeah, hour and a half on each chapter, except for the fitness assessment. I spent so long on fitness assessment, and I'll get to that later. So what did I do to study? I made Quizlets. I outlined the chapters. I outlined some of the chapters, but I felt like that really wasn't helpful. Quizlets is the best because I picked out the most important information and really hyper-focused in on that. And I watched the lectures and I did the assessment, the quiz after each chapter. That was really helpful. And then on the last day, right before the test, I took the practice test because I didn't know it was there until then. But this, you have to take the practice test because so many of the questions will overlap onto the actual test, and you can see what kind of questions you're getting wrong and go back and review that. So after the practice test, I made a Word doc and put all the questions that I got wrong in it and made sure to memorize the answers, and then I was so happy I did this because I got to the test and saw some of the same questions. And then finally, what to study for the test. So like I said before, Chapter 6, fitness assessment, is like 50% of the test, like compensation questions. So overhead squat assessment, they say in the lecture that you need to memorize that whole table, and you do. So you need to know like if someone's low back arches during a squat, what muscles are overactive, what muscles are underactive, and then what to do for that person to help them perform a squat with better form and help their muscle imbalances. You also need to know the same for like the pulling assessment, the pushing assessment, and the postural distortion patterns. So like upper cross syndrome, lower cross syndrome, and this was really hard for me. This took a long time to memorize, especially because I didn't know the muscles that well. But someone on Instagram was kind enough to send me this fitness mentor study guide, and I didn't go through the whole thing, but this table, if you can see, literally take a picture of that because it gives you the muscles that NASM says are always overactive or always underactive. So if you get to a question and you don't know the answer, you don't know which muscle is underactive or overactive, you can eliminate, if it's asking for an underactive muscle, for example, you can eliminate all the muscles that are usually overactive because that's not the answer. So this really helps with the compensation questions, and I can put that in the description if you want. You got to know the acronyms in the book. So like SMART goals, FITTE, FITTE for cardiorespiratory training. You have to know the OPT model inside and out. So not only do you have to know the stages, but you have to know what exercise fits in what stage. So it's going to give you an exercise and be like, or it's going to say, which exercise is best for a person at this stage in the OPT model, and you're going to have to pick one. You'll also need to know tempo. So you're going to have to know tempo by what stage. So the tempo of the exercise, like the concentric, isometric, and eccentric phase, that changes based on where you are in the model and what your goal is. So you have to know that, and you also have to know like rest periods. That changes based on where you are in the model too. So like if your goal is to build maximal strength, you're going to want to rest for 3 to 5 minutes. Also, you should know like regression and progression from an exercise. So like if an exercise is too hard for a client, you need to know how to take that a step down to make it easier. And if a client has mastered an exercise, you need to know how to take that a step further and make it a little harder. Another thing, nutrition-wise, know how many calories are in a carb, fat, and protein. So fat is 9, protein is 4, and carb is 4. Also know just like common myths about nutrition. Like in the book, it talks about how a high fat, low carb diet does help people lose weight, but it's usually because they are losing a ton of water and actually end up eating less calories because they're not eating as many carbs like they usually do, but it has nothing to do with not eating carbs. So know that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. If I didn't answer your question, again, just shoot me a DM and I'm more than happy to help you. Also, I'll put all the information that I think you should study and is most important in the description. So copy that, take a picture of that, whatever you want. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel or give me a like on this video. Also, let me know what other videos you'd like to see in my channel so I can make content that's helpful for you. And until then, thank you for watching and see you next time.